my name's Helen, I'm the Diddy Stitcher, my pronouns are she, her. It is Friday the 29th of September today. I've got a weird throat thing going on. I'm trying to hydrate. It's nice weather today. We had a little storm pass through, but it didn't affect us as much as the weatherman said it would. So happy about that. Got a lot to talk about today. And I'm going to try and be quick. It's not going to be a quick video. I'm going to try and be quick because I've got a lot of stuff to do for work as well. So I pulled my card and I've ruminated on this a little bit longer than I usually do. Usually I pull the card on screen, or I literally like pick it up and then talk about it. But as you'll see from the title of this video, a lot of stuff has been happening recently, and I use my cards to help give me clarity on what I'm feeling. Anyway, I've pulled the Knight of Cups, and I've sat with this a little bit, and so cups are all about emotion. The suit of your feelings, and yeah, so that was good to kind of acknowledge my feelings. And the Knight is kind of an expression of those feelings, like let your heart do the talking kind of thing. So yeah, this was a really good card for me. I'll talk about it a bit more, but this is what I love about tarot. Tarot is not predicting the future or you know, you can't, you know, death is not someone's gonna die and all of that, but for me it helps clear the clouds, gives me some clarity, some direction, or it clears it in the order I can set my own direction, you know. Does that make sense? Those of you who do tarot, it makes sense, and those of you who don't, I appreciate you letting me share a little bit with you. But yeah, loving my tarot card today is all I'll say. What I'm loving, apart from my tarot card, the beautiful Imogen sat and watched the last year of episodes of my Flosstube back to back, which was just so lovely. I got a little notification that they had commented on a video from, it was for my Flossmas last year. Was when I had my tooth infection and I just saw this comment like, oh, you poor thing, and I thought, did I say anything in my last video about that? And then I realised that it was on Flossmas episode 3 or whatever it was. So yeah, that just made me smile, and they commented and liked, you know, all of the, well, most of the videos they'd left a comment of some sort, and it was so fun to like look back and remember stuff. And like a year doesn't seem that long ago, but it has been a lot in this Flosstube world. So thank you, Imogen. And also they're coming to visit. Be here in like 2 weeks, so I think I might convince them to come on my next installment. We'll see. But yeah, I'm so excited to see them and have lots of fun. We're gonna have so much fun. I am so excited. So finishes, I didn't have any finishes this week, but I have stitched on a lot of whips. So I told you, did I tell you last time? I have, where is it? Here it is. I'll get a picture. I am stitching this, which is Raven from Yasmin's Made with Love. I'm doing the model stitch for her. This is Big Boy. But yeah, I think it came in the post last time maybe, and then I've started it, and I've got quite a decent chunk done. Let me see. I'll take this out the key snap. I'm gonna work on it. I'm not gonna put this away because it's a model stitch, so I'm just gonna keep it out until it's done. Even though I don't think the deadline that Yaz has set is until the end of the year, but we'll just get it done. Yeah, it's this way. But yeah, it's quite a lot done. I was worried that that was folded up and I'd done it the wrong way. It's fine. There's plenty of room. Yeah. So this is Raven. The fabric is a 32 count even weave by Fabric Blair, and it's called Purple Potion. Very cute. Not stitched on a Fabric Flare before, I don't think. So yeah, and it's just done entirely in DMC 310. So this is where this line stops. That's like a page break, but I wanted to get those tail feathers in. So where is it? Because I've just got the paper copy, so it breaks there, roundabout. So it's not completely a quarter. And then somewhere up here, like, I think this is half, but this is a bit more than half. So I just wanted to get these tail feathers in so I could join it up at the top, and then carry on with everything. But I think, because this is 2/2, 32 count obviously, I think all of that is a full skein of floss so far. So this is a chunky boy. Really loving it. Yeah, the pattern's already available, so you can go and check it out if you want. Yeah, I really love this fabric. Very cool. So yeah, I don't know how many stitches that is. I don't know what percent of the way through I am. We're just gonna keep going, and because it's just 310, I've just put it on one of my Kate Blanford floss drop chips. You don't need to label it because it's just 310. But what I do is I just pull out the whole skein of DMC and like fold it in on itself, so I've got like 8 strands, and then each one of them comes out to 1 meter, and then I just do the loop start to stitch, and it just keeps it very, very simple like that. So yeah, that was Raven by Yasmin's Made with Love. Like I say, I'm going to carry on stitching on that till it's done. My other whips, sorry, I just had a work call. What was I doing? So, other whip that I worked on was Sleeping Bee by The Blue Flower. I'll put a picture up here. This is the other cursed project that's on this cursed fabric of 40 count cafe au lait, I think it is. I haven't even measured how tiny that border is, but it's ridiculous. But it's coming along nicely. The plan is to frame this in a hoop, or one of those hoop frame things that's lovely. So, or I think you can get like plate frames. I haven't seen them before. I've seen them online, but I haven't seen any in real life. But you can just like put it in a hoop and stick the hoop behind the frame. I don't know. So yeah, hopefully there'll be enough to just frame, like I could sew some extra fabric on there just so I can pull it taut. But it'll be fine. Yeah, I have no idea why I started stitching where I started, why it's on this fabric piece that's clearly, I don't know, no idea. Anyway, so I stitched on these leaves and these berries, I think, and this kind of honeycomb thing and some snowflakes. Yeah, it was nice to stitch on. The actual stitching was fine after it's been in quarantine for a bit, for its cursedness. So I think this snowflake is like the center, maybe. So I'll have plenty of room on the bottom. I just don't know what happened with the top there. But yeah, this is Sleeping Bee by the Blue Flower, 40 count, 1/2, with mainly the called for flosses, with some substitutions for ones that I couldn't find at the time, but that's fine. So yeah, happy with my progress on that. Yeah, and the border will be fine. We'll figure it out. The other thing that I stitched on, I didn't get a lot of work done on it because it's just my desk project. This is Hello from Liz Matthews Gather Here, I think it's called. So this is on a piece of linen banding. You see, it's that stuff that's like finished on the sides there. I think it comes out to approximately a 25 count, but literally I just counted the number of stitches and made sure it would fit, and then yeah, counted the stitches from where they would be. So anyway, yeah, I think I just stitched on some words. That was it. I think I did anything on the bird and the branches. So this is Classic Colourworks Eringo Emerald for the bird, and Fennel, I think, for the words. I think they look beautiful together. And then the plan is, however kind of wide it gets, I'll probably finish it quite close. I might get some like doweling or something to put in the sides, and then a hanger over the top. And so you can see the banding. So you get to see that. So yeah, that was fun. It's approximately 25 count, 1/1. So it's a little bit difficult to work with at my desk. But I got a few stitches in, and that's fine. So we come to the title of this video. So yesterday, Thursday the 28th of September, some hikers were walking Hadrian's Wall, which, if you don't know, is a wall that stretches across England from east to west, like through Northumberland, built by Hadrian, Romans. But it's a continuous wall. Think like Great Wall of China, but it's just a dry stone wall basically. Over hill and down valley. It's about an hour's drive from my house. It at the end of the wall in South Shields, where I was born, is a Roman fort where my mother was born. My granddad was a caretaker at the fort. That's where she was born. Like, and the fort's like at the sea, so the wall runs from sea to sea. So it's a pretty big part of my life. And in the middle of the countryside in Northumberland is a gap. It's like a tiny little valley in between two kind of huge hills with a 200-300 year sycamore tree. It's called Sycamore Gap. I've been to see it a handful of times, and so you have to walk from the car park where they have a visitor centre and everything. You have to walk about 20 minutes, and it's quite rugged terrain across, like, by the wall. And then you come over the hill, you stand at the top of the hill, and you see this tree, this huge tree, like, below you, and then you climb down into the valley and see the tree. For those of you not familiar with this at all, you might have seen it in 1991's Kevin Costner film Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, where Robin and Azim are travelling home, which is to Nottingham, and they stop at this tree and see the little boy in the tree, like, getting chased by the Sheriff of Nottingham's men or whatever. And then they say, oh, this is not far from home, and they walk up Hadrian's Wall, up the hill, and go on their journey. Which is funny, side note, because when they land home from the Holy Lands, they land at the White Cliffs of Dover. They go right up the top of the country, past Nottingham, way past Nottingham, to Sycamore Gap to film that bit. And then they say, I'm not far from home, and actually, in reality, that is a very long way from Nottingham. Anyway, so that's how you might know the tree, if you haven't heard of it before. So yesterday, a group of hikers went to see the tree. It's very famous with hikers, tourists, photographers. It's an icon. They got to the tree. The tree had been felled. I saw it on my Instagram early afternoon. I thought it was a prank. I thought, like, there's no way. Like I just said at the beginning, we've had some storms recently, quite big storms, over the years that have taken down a lot of trees. Yet this tree stood against all that for hundreds of years. Someone had deliberately cut down the tree. And I had a lot of emotions in my heart about this. Anger of who would do this? Why would they do it? Grief, it's gone. It's dead. People won't be able to see it anymore. And then I'm fighting with that if it's just a tree, and you know, trees don't live forever. But in sycamore years, sycamores live 400-500 years. And I'm sure, like, it's a protected tree. It won Tree of the Year 2016. It's on a UNESCO World Heritage Site. There's the Grand Oak in Sherwood Forest, where they probably should have shot that Robin Hood film in Sherwood Forest. That is like propped up with props for the branches and stuff like that. I'm sure if it would have come to that, we would have protected that tree, you know. But someone just cut it down. And we don't know who or why. Later on in the afternoon, the police had released a statement saying they had arrested a 16-year-old boy. I don't know if he did it, a group of people did it, why they did it, and whatever the reason, I think it's unforgivable, because it's just a tree, as I say, like, but to us in the Northeast, it's an icon. Like, it's as if, you know, we kind of compare it to if someone had knocked the Tyne Bridge down, which is a iconic bridge over the river. You know, if it wasn't there anymore, you kind of notice. And you can kind of project that onto any icon near you and just think about that if someone had deliberately cut it down, taken down the bridge, whatever your, you know, iconic thing in your region is. It's not just a tree, like, people come and visit it from all over. You just know about it. Like, a lot of artists take inspiration from it, and if you don't have to have gone there to see its influence elsewhere. Like, if you have visited the Northeast, you've probably seen a coaster or a postcard or something with the Sycamore Gap tree on it, a photograph or an artwork or something. People have proposed there, scattered loved ones' ashes there. So for local people, it's devastating. But also, I've been talking to lots of people about this, obviously, and in one of my neurodivergent groups that I'm a part of, we all talking, like, I've cried real tears over this, because I think a lot of us neurodivergent people are very connected to nature. and neurodivergent friends of mine that hadn't even heard of the tree before I posted on Instagram are devastated as well. So it's got so many facets to it. So I'm literally going through the grief process of this tree, and I'm still in the kind of anger. Why? I need to know why. I don't know if I'll get that answer. Whatever the answer is, I know it won't be enough anyway, because there is nothing that would excuse that. I'm not going to speculate because there is a lot of talk around it. But I think a lot of people are in agreement that whoever did it should be prosecuted to the full length of the law. I'm not sure what that is for vandalizing a tree. I don't know whether it's whether it's more because it's, I'm not sure the protective status of the tree, maybe because it's on a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it is protected by that. I mean, which is kind of a moot point now, because it wasn't protected, it has gone. So looking to the future, like a lot of people have been suggesting to plant new saplings, because there are saplings from that tree that get cultivated over the years. There was a tree that was planted in front of the sycamore at some point. It didn't survive. Like, it's a miracle that this sycamore survived for 200-300 years in such an environment. It's a very unforgiving environment. So it was a symbol of hope in that kind of respect. And so whether a new tree planted there would survive, who knows? I'm sure there will be a memorial of some sort. What that looks like, I'm not sure, but it is a very well looked after site from Northumberland National Park and the National Trust and English Heritage, I think, because they're involved in the wall. There's a lot of people involved, so I'm sure it will get the justice of the memorial, whatever it may be. But yeah, so like I said, a lot of artists are inspired by the tree. I'm sure I've been putting up pictures here while I've been rambling. But one of those artists is my good friend Jen. Jen from True Veil Stitch Kits. I've stitched 2 of her patterns, Sunny St Mary's, which my mum has, and Roke Pier that I stitched for a lady and sent back to her. And one of the patterns that I've bought from Jen was, she calls it Illuminations on the Wall. I'll show you. But it's Sycamore Gap. And I bought it because I love the place. But didn't really have any plans of stitching it anytime soon. But yesterday had to be the day that I started it. You know, I had to mark it. somehow, which is, it's sad because I was thinking about it, like my Dee's piece started on the day that the HP game came out, so we stitched in support of our trans folk. Yesterday was the day that the tree came down, so we stitched in support of the tree. So and this is just, I think, the epitome of when someone asks why I do cross stitch. It's great for my mental health, calms me down, but this is like the ultimate therapy. So yeah, so yesterday I started Sycamore Gap. I'm just gonna call it Sycamore Gap, Jen, I'm sorry. Sycamore Gap by Trueveil Stitch Kids. Jen said she likes the way that I stitch. And she messaged me that, and I messaged her back saying I just needed to get some big, it's like painting, I needed to get some big strokes on the canvas to get the big feelings out. And I think that helped. Like, literally most of this is just a half stitch right now, but since stitching Rokapia, I've kind of learned with Jen's pieces that if I outline these big blocks of colours, then I can go back and just do fill in. And this might be a good travel project for Stitch North next year, because then I can just pick up a colour and stitch. This is my start. This is on this piece of 35 count even weave that snuck its way into my stash, don't know how. I had this star on the Biscore nest, and I thought it was a 28 count, but it's definitely not a 28 count. So yeah, it's like a 35 count. And I'm stitching it 3/2 because it had a lot of these dark colours in. And I wanted to make sure the coverage on the white was really good. I think it would have been fine with 2, but yeah. So that is my unexpected new start. A sad start, but I have to stitch it now. If you'd like to stitch it in memory of Sycamore Gap, I will link it below. She has a full kit or just a PDF if you just want to download it. It's just DMC, so super easy to kit up. I literally grabbed my Pip and Chip bobbins out of the, I haven't even kitted this up properly. I just grabbed colours and ran and started it. So I'll kit it up properly. So yeah, that is Sycamore Gap. I did see a poem that someone had written, and I'm gonna put it down below. I'm not gonna read it because reading it made me cry, and if I try and read it out, I'm just gonna cry. I will put it down below with the credit. go have a read of it. But yeah. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I'll just go around in circles. Okay, so that was all of my stitching. Haul, the only haul I had, because I'm trying to be real good, was my fabric on the month from Patchwork Rabbit, Fibre on a Whim. And this is, so I get 36 count, fat eighth. And this is, what do you call this? Brown sugar. Very nice. It's got so much personality, this one. So we've got kind of this half that's got this big stain almost, that could be really cool with something placed on that. And then this half that's like more overall mold. But the general, when it came, I think it just came like that. So it wasn't too mold, and it's a fairly good colour of that. It's kind of, it's got that purple hue in the brown that reminds me of hot chocolate. And I don't know if anybody else sees hot chocolate like that. Maybe it's just the hot chocolate that I make at home, because I know when I get hot chocolate out, it's more like brown coloured. But this has got that purple tinge to it. It's not a bad thing. So that was my only haul there. Oh, I sent out my ink circles piece this morning. Sent that to Rachel, and then I'm getting Deanna's at some point, so that'll be cool. Plans. Plans are, I want to tell you about the Kit It Up swap. I'm going to try and get this video up today, Friday. And if you're watching it this today or tomorrow, the Kit It Up swap, hosted by Megan and Michelle. I will link them down below. It's kind of like, who had the idea? Somebody on Michelle Bendy's Flosstube or Twitch had the idea of like a cross-stitch subscription box that kind of works like Stitch Fix. You know, you kind of fill in a questionnaire and they send you a surprise outfit, all the stuff. We need that for cross-stitch. And that evolved eventually into the Kit It Up swap. So if you want to, you can sign up. Sign up to send somebody a kit. There's different levels of how much money you want to spend on it, and how much money you want to spend includes like your stash. So if you want to give away your stash, like that money counts because you've already spent that money on that fabric. You know, that 10, 15, 20 pound piece of fabric counts towards how much you're willing to spend on that. And then in return, you get something back from somebody else, and you can share your wish lists. You can say what you're into, whether you want to have someone convert a pattern for you, whatever it is. It's gonna be great. I've signed up. I think I signed up at like the $50 level, because I got quite a bit of stash. So yeah, and I think it closes Saturday, so tomorrow at midnight, maybe, I don't know. I'll link it below. Go have a look if it's still open. Definitely sign up for it because it's going to be real fun. So thank you, Megan and Michelle, for organising that. Very, very excited about that. And then personal plans, I guess my big project for downstairs will be Raven, and I'll just keep Sycamore Gap out for a little bit longer upstairs here and stitch my emotions. My colleagues out of office this week and next, so it's been pretty busy this week, so I don't think I'll pull out anything to work while I'm at my desk because I have very little time to do that. And then extra life things apart from the whole tree thing. I have a date for my autism assessment, which will be November 1st, I think. So that's good. I did ask the very lovely receptionist, whoever it was on the phone, when my ADHD might be, because I know there's a longer waiting list for that, and they said, oh, we haven't got a referral for your ADHD. So I then had to ring my doctor to chase, and oh yes, we sent it, and I'm like, well, can you call them and tell them because they don't have it? And we'll see what happens with that. They did say that if my psychiatrist detects traits of ADHD, they might fast track me or dual diagnose me. I'm not sure how it works, but even with that snaggle, I feel like I'm in kind of safe hands. We'll see how the appointment goes with the psychiatrist, but it has been good so far. Anna is good. She had another trip to the doctors, another bout of antibiotics for a middle ear infection. She doesn't complain, so I don't know that her ear hurts. Then the doctor asked her, she's like, yeah, and I rub it and it hurts. And I'm like, oh, could have told me. Anyway, so we're waiting, I think, did I tell you last time? We're waiting for a referral to immunology for Anna. See what's going on with her. Oh, God bless the NHS. I think that's all. I'm looking at the mess in front of me and can't really see much of it because of what's going on in my face right now. So if I missed anything, I'm sorry. I've got to get back to work. Okay, I'll see you later.